So let us try to calculate this. Okay, we'll calculate. Okay, so we want to calculate the determinant of this. Okay, what we have here. So determinant value. If I consider this as okay, so 4 into the determinant 2 3 2 3. Okay, then minus 5 times the determinant 1 3 1 3 and plus 6 times the determinant 1 2. Okay, so 1 2 1 2. Is that okay? This is the formula. I can expand the determinant about any row and any column. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so I have chosen the third row. Okay, so we'll be having 4 and this is 6 minus 6 minus 5 and this is 3 minus 3. Okay, and plus 6, this is 2 minus 2. And what the determinant is?
0.
It's 0.
And how did you calculate it minus 1?
I said 0.
Okay, so there is a simple property of any determinant. If two rows or two columns are same, then the value is 0.
Yes.
It's a simple property. If two rows or two columns are equal, then the determinant value is 0. So without calculating, you should be sure that the value is going to be 0. So what we get here, we get the determinant of A is equal to 0. And what we have seen the definition, if the determinant is going to be 0, then what we say? We say that
Singular
the
matrix.
matrix A is singular. So that's why yesterday I said that you need to be very careful about the properties of matrices and the determinant. Okay, so determinant, we have two equal rows, so obviously the value is going to be 0, and so this matrix is going to be a singular matrix. What if I don't have this is equal to 0? What will happen if I don't have this is equal to 0?
Singular matrix.
Non-singular.
It will not be singular matrix. Okay, or we call it as non-singular
Non-singular
matrix. Okay, so we have non-singular matrix. Okay, so what we can say is a square matrix. Square matrix A is said to be non-singular matrix if it is not singular. That is, determinant of A is not equal to 0. Okay, so if determinant of A is not equal to 0, then surely we'll have the matrix, okay, where it will be a non-singular matrix. So I want you to calculate now. So for example, let A be the matrix. Okay. So here a very simple matrix I am taking 2 1 minus 2 0 1 4 and we'll be having 0 0 3. So I want you to calculate the determinant of this. So consider the determinant of this. So we have this is 2 1 minus 2, then we'll be having 0 1 4 and 0 0 3. Okay. So what is the determinant of this?
6.
6. 6.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
So you calculated on paper or you used the calculator?
Paper, sir.
Paper pen.
Paper.
Paper. Okay. So that's good if you have used paper. Okay, that means if you have used your notebook, that's good. Okay, but there is again a property of the determinant easily. Okay, so what is the property? If it is the upper triangular or the lower triangular, then the product on the diagonal elements is going to be the determinant. So we have is going to be 6, and hence we got the determinant of A is going to be 6. Okay. So if the determinant is 6, is it 0?
Sir, I didn't get the property.
Yeah. The property here is, see, either it is upper triangular or it is a lower triangular. Okay. Then the determinant value is nothing but the product of diagonal entries.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So that is the property. That's why I have written. You can expand this to check. Okay. So if you want to find out, then you will be having 2 into determinant of this, 1 into this will be 0, 2 into this will be 0. Okay. So that's why the only thing remains is 2 into 1 into 3, which is actually the product of diagonal entries. That's why we get this 6. So is it 0 or it is non-zero?
Non-zero.
Non-zero.
Non-zero. Okay, so that is important, because what we have to do is we have to see whether it is 0 or not 0. Our only concern is that it should not equal to 0. Whether it is positive, negative, that doesn't matter, but it should not equal to 0. And hence here this is not equal to 0. Okay. So any number is okay only if it should not equal to 0. Okay, positive, negative, we don't care. We don't have to worry about it. Okay, it is not equal to 0. And hence what I can say then, okay, so since the determinant of A is not equal to 0, what we can say is hence A is a non-singular matrix. So A is going to be a non-singular matrix. Okay. So if it is a non-singular matrix, what we can have, or what additional we can think. Okay. Then one more thing.
Inverse.
Yes, it is inverse. Okay. So we can think of the property inverse after understanding few more concepts. Okay. So what are those concepts? Okay. So that we need to understand. Then we need to understand the concept minor. Okay. So what is a minor? Okay. So what we'll be having, let A is equal to Aij be a square matrix of order n, then the minor Mij of ijth element Aij is obtained from the determinant of A by deleting ith row and jth column. Okay. So what is the minor Mij? So minor of the ijth element. Okay. So that is minor of Aij is denoted by Mij. And how this Mij is obtained? It is obtained by deleting the ith row and the jth column. Okay, so let us try to calculate some minors. Okay, so let A is equal to, okay, so A is a matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and then I want to calculate the minor 1, 1. So it is going to be the minor of A11. So what we have to do is we have to consider the determinant. Okay, so determinant of A is 1, 2, 3. Then you'll be having 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9. So we have to obtain this from the determinant of A. Now what is the next? By deleting ith row and jth column. So what we have to do is we have to delete. This is going to be M11. Okay, so I have to delete the first row and I have to delete the first column. And whatever the remaining determinant, okay, that is going to be the minor. So what this minor will be? You'll be having
Minus
5 into 9 minus 8 into 6. Okay, so you will have this is 45.
minus 3.
Okay, and what this is going to be? 48. So it is going to be
minus 3.
Yes. So you got M11 is equal to minus 3. Okay. And similarly, we can calculate any of the minor here. Okay. So let us try one more. So what we can do is we can calculate M23. Okay. So it is what we have minor of A23. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to consider the determinant of A. Okay. And then what we have to delete here, see second row and third column.
Third column.
Yes. So
Minus.
we'll be deleting the second row and the third column. Okay. So this will be the
Minus
minor.
6.
Okay. And then let us calculate this.
Minus
So it is 1 into 8 minus 2 into 7. So we can have this is 8 minus 14. So
Minus.
minus 6. And
Minus.
you get M23 is equal to minus 6. So I hope you understood how to calculate minor.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
that's
sir.
great. So I hope you will able to calculate minor of any element now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I want you to calculate now. We have calculate the minor of M31 and tell me what is the value. Okay, so I want you to calculate this.
Minus 3.
Minus
3.
Minus 3.
Minus 3.
Sure. So what you got here is nothing but the determinant. Okay, so what was the determinant? 2, 3, 5, 6. Okay, so it was here 2, 3, 5, 6. Then you calculated this as 6 into 2 minus 3 into 5, and so it was 12 minus 15. So it is minus 3, and you calculated in a proper way. Correct. Good. Okay, so you calculated the minor. Okay. Now, once you understand, you are able to understand minor, the next concept then we need to see, okay, which is the cofactor. Okay, so next concept that we need to see is cofactor. Okay. So what we have here, yeah. Okay, so let A is equal to Aij be a square matrix. Be a square matrix of order n. Then the cofactor matrix of A is denoted by A cofactor, okay, where A cofactor is equal to, this is the matrix of Aij, where Aij is cofactor of small aij. Capital Aij is the element of cofactor matrix, and it is a capital Aij is a cofactor of small aij, and defined as. So how do we calculate this capital Aij? it is minus 1 raised to I plus j into mij. Okay, so how do we get the cofactor? So we have the matrix A as Aij, be a square matrix of order n. Then we can find the cofactor matrix of A. It is denoted by A cofactor and defined as A cofactor is equal to Aij, where this capital Aij is cofactor of small aij and defined as Aij is equal to minus 1 raised to I plus j into mij. What is mij? Mij is a minor. Okay, and that's how we are able to calculate the cofactor matrix for the given matrix. Okay, so we have an example. Again, let us try to calculate the cofactor matrix for this. Okay, so for example, consider the matrix A. So it is going to be 2, 1, minus 2, then 0, 1, 4, and it will be having 0, 0, 3. Okay, so this is the matrix, and let us calculate this all the cofactors. Okay, so how do we are able to calculate the cofactors? So we can have, then we have A11. So cofactor of this, what will be having? Minus 1 raised to 1 plus 1 into M11. So it is going to be minus 1 raised to 2. Okay, and then M11. So M11 is determined 1403. Okay, what it is going to be? See, I have deleted the first row and the first column. So we can have, this is going to be minus 1 square is going to be 1
3.
and this is going to be 3. Okay, then I can have M12. Okay, so A12. A12 is minus 1 raised to 1 plus 2 and M12. So here minus 1 cube, and here you'll be having, you have to delete the first row and second column. So first row and second column.
Minus 3.
So it is going to be this one 0, 0,
0.
and 4, 3. So it is going to be 0. Okay, minus 0 is same as 0. So we don't have to write minus. Then A13. So it is going to be minus 1 raised to 1 plus 3, and you will be having M13. So minus 1 raised to 4 and M13. So it is going to be 0, 1,
0.
0. Again, it is going to be 0. Okay, so now I want you to calculate, okay, the remaining. So I want you to calculate A21, A22, A23, okay, and then A31, A32, and A33. So you calculate this all and tell me what are these values.
A21 minus 3.
A21 minus 3.
Minus
Others,
3.
please verify with these values.
A22 plus 6.
Plus 6,
A230.
A230,
A23 minus 2.
please check. A23 is already given, A23 is 0 by someone has given it. So please check A23.
So 0.
Yes, sir. 0. 0.
0.
Okay. So
A316.
A31 is
6.
6. Okay.
A32 minus 8.
Minus 8.
A32 minus 8.
Yes, sir.
A332.
A332.
2.
2.
So sure about this now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So everybody has calculated and then sure that these are the correct values. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So we got all the cofactors for this elements of this given matrix A, and hence we can write. So we have the cofactor matrix for A as. So what is the cofactor matrix? A cofactor is equal to. Now I'll write down these entries: 3 0 0 minus 3 6
minus
0,
6 0.
and this is 6 minus 8 2. Okay,
2.
so this is the matrix of cofactors. Okay, so once you are able to calculate the matrix of cofactors, then we have the another concept, or the next concept we need to understand is adjoint matrix or adjoint matrix. Okay, so what is the adjoint matrix and how we denote it? So let A
Cofactor matrix.
be a square matrix, then the transpose of cofactor matrix is called adjoint matrix of A, and is denoted by adjoint of. So that is, we have adjoint of A is equal to transpose of cofactor. So we have A cofactor and its transpose. Okay. So suppose I want to find out the adjoint matrix. So we can have, so let A be the matrix. So the matrix we have already used 2 1 minus 2. Then we'll be having 0 1 4, and then we'll be having 0 0 3. Okay. Then A adjoint of A. Okay, so how we are able to get is adjoint of A is equal to A cofactor transpose. So already we have the cofactor matrix here. So let us check its transpose. Okay, so we can have the transpose of this. So what will be having 3 minus 3 6 0 6 minus 8, and we'll be having 0 0. So I have the cofactor matrix here. I am taking its transpose. Its transpose will be this. So this way we are able to get the adjoint of a matrix, and we have calculated this is adjoint of A. Okay. So we can calculate adjoint of A. Now, once I have the adjoint, then I am able to calculate the inverse or reciprocal matrix. Okay. So then we have reciprocal or inverse matrix. Okay. So what will be having, and this is always possible only for the non-singular square matrices. So let A be a non-singular square matrix, then the reciprocal matrix inverse matrix of A is denoted by A inverse. We don't read it as A raised to minus 1. We write A raised to minus 1, but we read it as A inverse. Okay. So, and is defined as, so what you'll be having, the reciprocal of A is 1 upon determinant of A
Into adjoint of A.
Okay, so that's why to define or to calculate A inverse, we must know what is the adjoint, and we know that determinant of A is not equal to 0 because we have already declared the matrix is going to be a non-singular matrix. Okay, so it is a non-singular matrix, it is a square matrix. So if it is a square matrix, we are able to find its determinant, and we got that determinant is not equal to 0, so that's why it is a non-singular matrix. So once we know it is a square matrix and determinant is not equal to 0, then we are able to calculate the adjoint. And then if we know adjoint and we know determinant of A, then we are able to calculate this expression, which is called as the inverse or the reciprocal matrix of the given matrix. Okay. Also, we know the another definition of the inverse is, okay. So what we can have is, let A and B be two non-singular matrices of non-singular matrices. So they are square matrices because we can check only non-singularity of the square matrices. So they are two non-singular matrices, means their determinant is not equal to 0, and I am putting one condition of same order. Okay, so that means if this is n by n, then this is also n by n. Okay, of same order, and A into B is equal to B into A is equal to identity. That is their product commute. Yeah, this is called A into B is equal to B into A. This property is called commutative property. Okay, so A into B is equal to B into A. So they are commuting. Their product is commuting, and their product is equal to I. Okay, so the most important thing is that their product is commuting and the product is identity. So A into B is same as B into A, which is same as the identity. Then the matrix B, then the matrix B is said to be inverse of matrix A and is denoted as E is equal to A plus. Is denoted as E is equal to A inverse. So if you know the matrix A and you want to calculate the inverse, then calculate by using this formula, or in either way you find out a matrix B of the same order such that A into B is equal to B into A is equal to identity. Okay. And I hope you have studied how to find out the inverse of a matrix by using elementary row transformations or using
Yes.
Yes, sir.
column
Yes,
transformations.
sir.
So there you have used
Yes,
this relation, A into B is equal to B into A is equal to identity. Okay. So if you are calculating using the row transformation, then we use this expression. If you are calculating directly, then we use this expression. Okay. So this way we are able to find the matrix, okay, inverse matrix or the reciprocal matrix. Okay. So once we know the inverse matrix or the reciprocal matrix, then there are some certain properties of this inverse and reciprocal. Okay. So what are the properties of inverse or reciprocal matrix? So some basic properties that we'll try to understand. Okay. So what is the first property? Okay. So first property is that the inverse of a matrix, if it exists, then it is unique. Okay. So that what that means? That means that any invertible matrix cannot have two different inverses. Okay. So it will have only one inverse. Okay. Then Second, we have the inverse of inverse is the same matrix. So please read carefully. I am taking inverse 2 times. So inverse of inverse. So that is what we know is I have already A inverse and I am taking its inverse. So I'll be having the same matrix A. So A inverse inverse is equal to A again. Okay. And third, okay. So we have from our definition we can see that A inverse into A is same as A into A inverse and is equal to the identity of the same order. Okay, so we have written this definition in terms of B. A into B is equal to B into A is equal to identity. So if I replace this B by A inverse, okay, and then I am able to get this expression that A inverse into A is same as A into A inverse, which is equal to identity. Okay, and hence what we can have the next. Okay, so we have determinant of A inverse is equal to 1 upon determinant of A. And this is an easy property we can prove. And so how we are able to prove this property? Very easily. So what we know is A into A inverse is equal to identity. Let us take the determinant on both sides. So A into A inverse is equal to determinant of identity. Okay, and we know determinant of identity is going to be 1. So determinant of identity is 1. So what we know is determinant of A into B is same as determinant of A into determinant of B. Okay, and so we can use this property here, and we can write this as determinant of A into determinant of A inverse, and this is going to be 1. But what we know is determinant of A is not equal to 0. So I can write this as determinant of A inverse is equal to 1 upon determinant of A, which is the property that I have written here. Okay, so using the simple calculations and logic, you will able to prove these properties. Okay, so one thing we need to understand is determinant the inverse is going to be unique. We can calculate the inverse of inverse is the same matrix, and we know that the product of the matrices commute if you know the one matrix is the inverse of the other matrix, and hence the product becomes identity. Moreover, if I know the determinant of A, then I am able to calculate the determinant of A inverse directly. Okay, so these are some of the basic properties of the inverse of matrix. Okay. Now, using these properties, we are again able to define some more. Okay.